You can catch me in the hood in front of a bodega with 3 shanks on my arm, repping like I was Vader.
Alright. Uncle Jobson, Uncle Tuac, One Black Power family. What's going on? You already know this is your brother and Google. Now you see R.A.N.M. Once again, you were back tuned in to R.A.N.M. RBG TV. And you know we keep the G. That raw and uncut shit. Common sense for the common people. Dealing with the common issues, trying to seek those common solutions. Say it along, family. You already know how we gonna do this. How we gonna handle it? With black love. You know why? Because black love is the key of the black nation. So let's get it. You dig? Today we're going to talk about just what I held up just now. We're going to talk about race. Like I always do. Because at the end of the day, you can't run from it. And the reason why I'm coming to the family on this particular topic with the way I'm going to break it down today is because we have to finally, once again, face our fears for what it is. A lot of people always want to talk about how much they don't see race and this, that, and third, but at the end of the day, let's keep it 100. This world that we live in sees race, and they apply that same thing that they see. Even here in America, 3Ks don't get it twisted. So with that being said, I want to show you something real quick, little clip. It's rather relevant to my discussion, so sit back, enjoy. Hopefully you'll catch the meaning of it, what I'm about to break down through this video, and we're going to go on like that, you know what I mean? All in together now. So in the meantime, like I always say, man, keep it locked, keep it G. This is R.A.N.M. RBG TV. We keep it G. Sit back, get comfortable. Let's do the damn thing. You understand? Alright. I want y'all to watch something. Just watch this.
Russia, Cuba, Trinidad and Tobago, Belgium, Great Britain, United States, France and Jamaica. Away they go. The United States have David Berberg in 7. Right on the outside, Peter Matthews, who ran so well in the heats and semi-finals. The individual event, running blind, but it's a super start by Berberg. They may well get the lead. We'll have to watch for that, but a fine start by Youssef for Great Britain, who's running very strongly as well as Crowell Trinidad. So we come up to the first changeover, and it's the United States who just take that back and just outside them. The Frenchmen finished well as well. It looks like 4 abreast here, and the Trinidadians have got Lalong Gorm for the United States. McQuay showing just in the lead there now. So it's the United States who will come up for the second changeover. They've been overtaken though. So let's see what happens at this changeover. Well, it's narrowing the gap a little bit for Britain in 3rd place. Jared Dunn takes over. For Trinidad, they've got Deanne Lendor. For the United States, it's Bryson Nella. Final changeover now. And it's going to be little in it between Trinidad and the United States. Trinidad have Sardinia, the world junior champion, and just about level with him now is LaShawn Merritt, who's won 5 successive golds at this event. LaShawn Merritt, the individual silver medalist, is up on the shoulder of Sardinia. The Belgians are there. A spirited run though, right from the back, the Jamaicans, the marvellous Jamaicans, with Javon Francis has gone right into the lead. Has he gone too early? Behind him though, the experienced figure of LaShawn Merritt is giving chase. Then the Trinidadians, then Martin Rooney for Great Britain, then the Belgians. What a burst that was for Francis, but the experience of LaShawn Merritt is up on his outside, and it's LaShawn Merritt. It's going to be 6 wins in a row at this event for Merritt. Back they come to the Trinidadians. USA first, 2nd Trinidad and Tobago, 3rd of Jamaica, 4th of Great Britain, 5th are the Belgians, 6th of the French, 7th of the Russians. Britain, in fact, got 3rd. Well, I missed that.
Martin Rooney came through, it was very fast there, Peter, didn't he, to snatch that.
Same time, but he got it, yep.
Just on the line for Great Britain.
USA, baby! Yeah! #1, baby!
Nellen
deserves that moment to celebrate. And it's only the second track gold for the United States after Alison Felix's individual win in the 400.
The final medal presentation, the United States, Trinidad and Tobago, Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Top of the podium for the men's 4x400 meters.
And we back. Once again, you were still tuned into RNMRBG TV. This is your brother in Google Nayusi. There's a real reason why I showed that clip with y'all, dealing with the Olympics and everything, because at the end of the day, the Olympics, track and field, nonetheless, primarily. I like to watch the track and field games primarily because it shows pure symbolism dealing with this whole thing called race. Now, what really is a race per se besides a big competition? You understand? What is race really besides a big competition? And dealing with the Olympics or whatever, it's a global competition. You understand? Different countries, different nations, different peoples from all over the world competing against one another to get that #1 ranking place within this world. Now we're going to bring it to us. We're going to talk about us. That's right, stick to your guns. Now with that being said, it was a relay race you saw. It was, the U.S. versus many other different nations. Jamaica, Trinidad, Great Britain, so on and so on and so on and so on. But nonetheless, I'm focusing directly, primarily on the U.S. because that's where we are right now. That's the soil that we on right now. So just follow me what I'm about to say. If you saw from the time that the gun fired, everybody was going in. Hard body. Again, trying to get to that #1 spot, right? But the thing is, with this whole notion that a lot of our people like to say, oh, I don't see race, I just see human beings and yada, 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 and we should be all one. And that whole we are the world bullshit, right? And that's exactly what it is. Bullshit, because it's not reality. That's the myth that everybody has created within their own heads so they can quote unquote navigate through this society. But at the end of the day, you're only suppressing yourself, you're only suppressing your people. This is why I always go for this weapon. This is why I always show y'all this weapon. Race first. It's not about the land that you're in, the language that you're speaking. It's all about this right here. It's all about this right here. You understand? So with that being said, just look how we do navigate, how we do maneuver through this place called America. Again, 3 Ks, do not get it twisted. We do everything we can to push America forward. Meanwhile, America does everything they can to shit on the black man, woman, and child. But yeah, at the end of the day, these are the same ones, same black woman and child that love to say we don't see race. These are the same parents that teach our children not to see race, only see human beings. But at the end of the day, let's keep it 100. In this land called America, again, 3 Ks, do not get it twisted. Are we treated as humans? Are we viewed as humans? Are we documented as humans? No, no, no. Again, like I said in my last episode, you still on the books, you still on that document as 3/5 of a human being. But even in that, even with that being the case, you being only 3/5, they still use you to advance their empire. And when I say empire, I'm talking about that of the American society. You are used to advance America. Meanwhile, America is used to shit on you. And it's like people have no problem with that. People have no issue with that. Well, guess what? Damn it, I do. So I'm going to be the one to speak on it like I always have. And this is why I'm not popular for being such. And I really don't give a damn. I'm not in this to be popular. I'm in this to give you the raw deal, raw and uncut for the common people. You understand? We got to wake up, family. Black people, we have to wake up. African people, because that's what we are in America. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. You are an African captive here in America. And with that being said, let's just go back once again. Let's go back to the plantation. Let's go back to the plantation. What was one of the biggest things that was taking place on plantations? Breeding, right? What were they breeding for? They were trying to create the super duper athletic, if you will, the super strong slave, nonetheless, to continue the productivity of slaves for this American empire, right? Now it's been transformed into the sports arena, right? And within this sports arena, you have those same super duper slaves, again, putting their American captors right back on top. When we win these races, when we win these different competitions and this, that, and third, again, for America, not for ourselves, for some odd reason. When we get these medals and we get these accolades and this, that, and the third, it's all a reflection of America, not of the blacks that are competing for America. You understand? Are you getting this? It's all to advance America, but at the end of the day, and also with the Olympics also, right? It gives a false notion to the global to the global citizens, if you will, to the people of the rest of the world. It gives a false notion that basically all is well over here. We're doing pretty good over here. We're able to compete over here. But the minute you walk through the life of an average black man, black woman, and black child, you walk these steps that we walk, we're not able to compete. Look at the different many stipulations that are forced against us, that are put in our way as obstacles or hurdles, if you will, because like I said, we're going to compare this whole track and field thing to how we live. We got hurdles in front of us. Meanwhile, everybody else got a straight shot. They can go right on down the block, right on down the track. Meanwhile, we got to jump, we got to dodge, we got to duck, and this, that, and third, or whatever, just to get where we got to go. Why am I saying this right now, family? Because this is pretty much what it is. I put a post up earlier today on my Facebook page. You can go check it out if you want to. I put a post up how basically, again, the world, well, not even the world, how black people here in America, we love to say we don't see race, we don't see race. But at the end of the day, the rest of the world sees race, and they apply that just that way. They see it, they live it, they push themselves first, they push their people first. Meanwhile, we push everybody else first. We build everybody else up. We support everybody else, but we do not support our own. We don't want to support each other in the economy realm. We don't want to support each other in the academia halls, whatever, and dealing with the education for these kids. We don't want to support each other dealing with self-defense. Anything you can think of, we do not support each other in it. But we will always, for some odd reason, we just love to push everybody else forward. Push everybody else forward and think that's going to give us some sort of pat on the back. It's really not. What they're really doing is patting you on your head for being that good old slave, that pet slave that you were basically bred to be. That's what you're really getting in return. You're not getting that sense of welcome, that sense of we are one. They're using you. And when they're done using you, they throw your ass to the back of the line, and you try it all over again. You gotta try and train all over again, just to once again put them up front. Now, again, race first, right? Big up Mr. Garvey. He came with the whole thing, notion of race first. This is why I always talk about black nationalism all the time. Everybody else on the rest of the world and the rest of the continent, you know what I'm saying, the other landmasses of the world, even here in America. Again, 3 Ks, don't get it twisted. Other peoples of America, they practice race first. They practice nationalism based on their race. They do any and everything to make sure that they are in that number 1 seat. They make sure they try to get that gold medal, metaphorically speaking. Us, on the other hand, we do what we can to get that gold medal for them. And then when we do it, what do we hold up? What banners do we hold up? We hold up the banners of these same empires, these same captors that have held us down for the longest of time. Case in point, if you go back to the clip that I just showed you dealing with the whole track and field event or whatever, what happened when America won? When the black Africans that were running for America, I should say, when America won, what happened? You saw them holding up that good old red, white, and blue rag, right? Loud and proud, bold and proud, USA, USA, number one, whoopty 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 whoop. At what point are we gonna say, you know what? We can do that same shit, if not better, up under this. For us. By us. To sustain us. We can compete for us. We can compete against any other people out here. Again, Mr. Garvey told us, what man can do, what man has done, man can do again. He also told us, if you cannot do what other men have done, what other nations have done, then you better die. I'm paraphrasing. I'm not quoting. I'm paraphrasing. I don't want to mess up the words. But nonetheless, if you cannot compete how everybody else is competing against you, for you, if you cannot compete for you and your people, you might as well just call it quits. You might as well pack the shit up and just die. Because at the end of the day, we're dying as it is to compete for these same captors that have oppressed us, suppressed us, through these obstacles in front of us. But at the end of the day, when we get these little trinkets, we get these little small accolades and these little pats on our heads, we think we're doing something. We really think we're making some type of progress. It's a false reality, family. You gotta face it for what it is, man. Reality is a beast, and a beast, it's just there. It can't be tamed. We can tame our own reality. We can control our own reality. That's if you want to. I'm back. My fault, yo. My fault. Phone kept ringing. Anyway, as I was saying, we can compete for ourselves. We can do for ourselves once we realize that, one, we need to, two, once we want to. That's the thing. I think people realize that if there's a need to it, but I don't think people understand that, you know what I'm saying, they really want to put this thing into practice. I think people are really comfortable as far as with the situation of the day. Now, here's the thing. This is the funny part right here with this whole thing about race. Relating it to the whole Olympic things and everything, right? We'll cheer, we'll hoorah, hoopla, all that good shit, right? During these races and during these competitive events and this, that, and the third. We'll scream out USA all day. USA, USA, ah! But then the minute these damn races go off, the minute these competitions are over with, reality sets back in, and at the end of the day, again, everybody's competing against you, and you're helping everybody compete against you. But we fail to realize the reality behind that whole thing. Again, this is why I always and will always keep going right here. Keep showing y'all this thing. Race first. If you're going to compete for black people, not against black people. You understand? That's the whole thing right there. That is the key, man. You want to be recognized. We always scream about recognition. Recognition. The world does not recognize us. Hell, America doesn't even recognize us. But at the end of the day, we'll fight for America. We'll compete for America. We'll do for America. When is America going to turn around and do for us? Now, that's a rhetorical question, because you know damn well America ain't going to do shit for you. You got to do this thing for yourself, by yourself, for yourself. And when I say yourself, I'm talking about us, all of us, under this right here. We can compete once we all rally around this right here. This is the central key right here, man. You understand? Once we rally around that simple fact, then we can compete. Then we can really go for that goal. And when we go for that goal, we're going to fly it under this. You understand? A banner for us. And now, that goes for, one, blacks right here in America, blacks in Great Britain, blacks in all over the world. Wherever the world is, wherever there's population throughout the world, black people are there. So with that being said, at what point do we say, you know what? Though I may be on a particular landmass, I am my own person. I am my own people. Talking about black people. We can need to do that just like that. We need to compete just like that. That's why I'm correlating this whole thing with the Olympics to reality. It's all competition. So for everybody that's out there talking about how much they don't see race, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. Big time. But you're not fooling the ones that really know the deal. And at the end of the day, you're not fooling the ones that you're competing for. If anything, they're laughing at you. Every time we run these different races, every time we do these different competitive engagements against quote-unquote other nations, this, that, and the third, Again, we're only helping out those other nations. We're not helping out ourselves. We're not competing for ourselves. We need to compete. This whole thing about race is a competition. It's us versus them. And it's many of them, but at the end of the day, it's many of us too. But we fail to realize that we are a many and mighty people because we've infused ourselves and assimilated ourselves into everybody else's empire, into everybody else's way of living, into everybody else's competition against us. At what point do we realize that shit, family? At what point do we realize the more and more we compete for all these other people, these other nations and other empires, we're only hurting and harming ourselves. We're only diluting ourselves. We're only suppressing ourselves. The minute that we realize that shit and act accordingly, that's when we can finally say, you know what, we're here again. Because we did this before. We've done this before. There's nothing new under the sun. It's one big cycle. It's one big ass cycle. It's one big ass cycle. We've done this before. We can do it again. The thing is, again, like I said, we've blended ourselves into everybody else for so long and so hard doing it too. We do it like nobody else's business. We are the best competitors. We are the best of competitors. But we're just competing for the wrong reasons. We're competing for the wrong people. We're competing against the wrong people, which is us. We don't need to compete against ourselves because at the end of the day, we're only tripping ourselves up. We're throwing more hurdles in our own way versus everybody else throwing hurdles in our way. We're putting our own hurdles in our own way. At what point do you kick the hurdles out the way and just run your race for you and your people? For your race. Again, you can say you don't see race all you want, but again, you're only fooling yourself. I probably wasn't going to be too long on this on this particular episode or whatever. It's pretty much straight to the point, very direct. But at the end of the day, you got to face reality for what it is. You have to see race because the rest of the world sees race and they live accordingly. Thus, they move the way they move. Thus, they're able to succeed the way that they succeed because they see race, they see themselves within this race, and they run hard. They train hard. They bang hard. We run hard, we train hard, we bang hard, just for the wrong reasons. We can do this, you know. We can do this, you know. The same way we love putting America first, land of the free, home of the brave, bullshit. It's really the land of the sleep, home of the slave. Let's keep it G. Land of the sleep, home of the slave, man. Wake your ass up and free yourself, man. And when I mean free yourself, I mean do for yourself. Buy yourself for yourself. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. Look at the ones that you're competing. Look at your other competition. Look at your white competition, your Arab competition, your East Indian competition, your Hispanic competition, your Asian competition. They go hard and they don't worry about you because they're too busy worried about themselves. They put their race first, and it shows. It shows. It doesn't. They don't have to wait for every 4 years for an Olympic game to come around for them to get in their competition, get in their competitive mode and their competitive spirit. They compete daily in their economics, in their education, in their food and nutrition, in their defense systems, in their family lives. They compete, and they compete real hard. Meanwhile, we just sit back and think it's all good. We're comfortable. You should not be comfortable, family. You should not be comfortable. You should be competing every day, all day, every second of the day. You understand? Put yourself first. Put your people first. Put your family first, because we are all family. We're all over this globe. We're all global family. So at the end of the day, the blacks here, the blacks back on the continent of Africa, the blacks in Europe, the blacks in Asia, the blacks in Australia, etc., 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 etc. We all need to come together. Again, realize that we are all of one race, one stock, one blood, maybe different land masses, but we are all one people. That's what we need to compete. That's our competitive spirit right there once we tap into that shit. Take that and run with it. Full speed ahead. Full steam ahead, family. Don't stop until you get to where we get. Don't stop until we get to where we need to be in life, which is, again, back on top. Again, we love to talk about how much we are the fathers and mothers of civilization, this, that, and the third. We gave the world math, science, technology, etc., 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 the arts, the languages, this, that. We love to brag about this shit all day long. But at the end of the day, based on the way that we're competing right now, Do we really have the right to brag the way that we do? No, we do not. Because we're not practicing for ourselves. We're not training for ourselves. We're not competing for ourselves. This whole thing, again, I know this sounds maybe a little bit repetitive, but I'm repeating it for a reason. To drive this shit in your head. This whole world is run around race. It's ran on race. Period. Point blank. You cannot run from it. You ain't that fast. So you might as well see for what it is. You might as well take the veil off your eyes and say, you know what? Yeah, this world is about race. This whole thing is a big ass competition and we need to compete. We've done it before, man. Why are we scared to do it right now? Erase the fears. Erase the fear. Get bold. Just how you all bold when you're going against your brother and your sister, when you're competing against your brother and your sister, when you're competing against your elder and your youngin'. Get bold. Get tough body with it and compete against everybody else. That's the only way you're going to get that recognition that you're looking for, that you're demanding nonetheless. That's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way it's going to happen. You have to recognize yourself. You have to train for yourself. You have to practice for yourself. Strive for yourself. Build for yourself. Do for yourself. Live for yourself. And yourself is this. Yourself is this. Just the way that they told us. Let's put the shit into action, man. Let's put the shit into practice, man. We can. It's not just. Again, it's not. We shouldn't have to just wait around every 4 years again for this competition called the Olympics or whatever the case may be. You compete every day. This whole world is this day-to-day living is a big ass Olympic game. It's your nation, which is us black people, versus their nation, which is everybody else. Once you wrap that around your head, you can finally see it is for what it is. It's not that hard to understand. It's not that hard to comprehend. It's not that hard to apply. Again, you got to think it first. And once you think it, then you got to start speaking this shit into reality. Once you speak it into reality, you're able to walk in this reality. You're able to run in this reality. You're able to compete within this reality. It's not hard, man. We can do this shit, man. So again, I didn't want to be too long or whatever. I didn't want to be too long. This one was kind of pretty much straight to the point. Take what I'm saying. Look at that video that I showed you again against the the track and field clip, and put the two together. Put the equation together, and you'll get your answer. Again, you see how hyped we get when we're running for USA. You see how bold and happy and proud we are when we holding up that damn red, white, and blue rag. But then when we step back into the reality of the world, when we step back into the reality of America, when we're in our different states, cities, and towns, this, that, and the third, wherever we are, the competition still continues. Even after TV is off, even after the race is over with, as far as dealing with the whole Olympics and everything. Even after the race is over with, the competition still continues. You may not see the gold medals being handed out, the silver medals and the bronze medals and all that stuff being handed out, the accolades being handed out or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know who's on top. You know who's on the bottom. I don't even have to say it. You know this already. So again, practice for yourself. Train for yourself. Do for yourself. That way, yourself will be able to sustain from generation to generation, just like how everybody else does. And they don't make no bones about it. They don't cry about it. They just do it. They don't even have to use the word nationalism. But for us, on the other hand, we have to use this type of language. We have to say the words of black nationalism and this, that, and the third, and yada, 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 because we have to reprogram ourselves. We have to first of all, we have to deprogram from the systems that we're already in. You understand? From the falsehoods that we're already in. We have to deprogram from that and then reprogram ourselves to our own program, to our own format, to our own system. Period. Period. Again, this whole world runs off of race. So for all those out there that keep saying, once again, they don't see race, you're fooling yourself. But you ain't fooling the ones that's on top. Think about it, man. Thinking it's not illegal, living black ain't wrong. So again, race first is a must. I'm gonna hold it up again. It's a must. It's a must. Mandatory. It's the only way you're going to get that recognition that you keep demanding day in, day out. Recognize us. Recognize us. We've done this. We did that. Da, 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 da. Nobody gives a shit. Because at the end of the day, you're not competing for yourself. You're competing for somebody else. So therefore, all of that from the past goes right out the window. Nobody hears it, nobody sees it. They only see what you're doing for them. You got it? I think I'm gonna leave it at that right there, man. Questions, comments, concerns, man, get at me. Leave some feedback in the comment box. You already know. Again, this has been R&M RBG TV. You know who I be. We keeps it G. In Google, now you see R&M. Common sense for the common people. And we are the common people. This is for the common people. You understand? Common sense for the common people dealing with the common issues, which is race. We need to put that first. You understand? So we can get those common solutions. Again, to put this up top. Put us up top. That's our common solution. The minute we get that, we will be alright. We will be alright. In the meantime, between time, keep it locked, keep it G. Again, this is R&M RBG TV, man. Race first. Run your race for your race. Haha, I'm saying it again. Run your race for your race. Because if you don't, all you're going to do is just slap each other in the face. The rest of the world is all they're going to do is slap you in the face. And you can't cry about it because you ain't running your race for your race. You dig? Till the next time, man. Uncle Johnson, Apple 2 up on Black Power, man. Always remember that black love is a cure for the black nation, so let's get it. That's why I always say, man, when you got that black love, you'll multiply yourself you'll multiply yourself amongst everybody that is of yourself, which is the people, which is black people. And we can run that race. We can win that race. And nobody else will be able to compete. Thinking it's not illegal, living black ain't wrong, man. But it's up to you. Do you want it? I want it. Do you? Only you know the answer to that question. So stay tuned to the next one, man. Think, bang out, or bang smart, bang wise, bang for your race so you can run your race. You dig? Black Power.